Sound relaxed.
Oh, I'm so relaxed, especially with this pod. Oh my gosh, just so good.
So
All
is
right,
that what we call it? Because I've been saying podcast. Did we just say pod?
Oh, well, because we're
Did you say
hip
the pod?
youths, you know?
Well, yeah, well, actually ties into what I was going to lead us into here with how ancient you are.
That's
Eli.
true.
Yeah, take me to the beginning, man. Take me to the beginning of Sheriff Eli, if you will. Okay. How did you get your name?
So
how did that come about?
The name, actually, from the show Boardwalk Empire. Everybody remembers Nucky Thompson. If you don't know the show,
yes,
but his brother is the sheriff. And when we got started with RP, like it was me and my buddy Fincone. If you don't know Fincone, like I play games with him all the time. My brother from another mother. When we first got started, like we had to give them names to add into the server. And that was the first thing. Like I was watching Boardwalk Empire and I was like, you know, all the hype about Nucky, nobody gives the brother any love at all. None.
I completely
and he does the wet
forgot.
work the whole show. See that everybody does.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers it until you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty rough. You know what I mean? Like he basically gets nothing the whole show, but he does all the wet work. So that's basically, plus, you know, I'm an Irish dude and good Irish name. Strong.
Is Eli a good, strong Irish name?
Oh, well, it's biblical. You know what I mean? And so my family, it's like,
it's true.
They're Baptists and Catholics. So anything that, you know, they can agree on, you're normally okay with. They're like, okay, that'll work, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So you were doing GTRP. Is that where it all started, basically? It's just kind of
started with, well, you know, in these times, I feel like I'll be okay. Porn, but soft stuff, you know.
What?
We all right? Did the feed cut out?
No, I'm good. I had a small acid reflux. You were saying?
I hate to say porn, but it was more artsy stuff.
Art house stuff. Okay, classy. Right. Lighting, shadows.
Exactly. A lot of noir. You know what I'm saying in there.
You're more like Sundance type stuff.
Well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of lewd jokes, good stuff like that. Costume changes.
Breast talk.
So
it was the breast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the breast.
No, I mean, honestly, they're really one day. It wasn't, and then one day it was. You know, I
just wake up and you're in porn.
I mean, it wasn't even like that. Like really, it was a lot scarier than that. I mean, I was working for the Fed, and I was doing consulting stuff. On a bunch of different things. And well, like I was getting ready to go to work. And
he's trying to think of what he's allowed to say.
I was going to be flying to Miami for work. And I got a phone call from my mother and my old man. And they let me know that my little brother had been killed.
Really? I'm sorry.
He was in the Army and he had just gotten back from Haiti, and I think he'd been home maybe 3 months. And they called and they let me know that the sheriff had gone by his place and they had found him, and he'd been shot and that he passed away. And like, it was like getting I don't know. I mean, I guess like getting hit by a car, getting the wind knocked out of you, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And I went to like a really, really dark place. You know what I mean? And like it sucked the passion out of everything I was doing. And, you know, I went in to work. I told my boss, like, what happened. And he was like, you know, you still want to make the trip? And I was like, you know, I don't know if I should. I ended up going on the trip, but like, it was just the whole time I couldn't focus. It just didn't feel right. And like when I got back, you know, I just started trying to find a way to not be in that moment. You know what I mean? Like not be in the world.
Yeah, totally.
Like as it is now, you know? So
You need
like
some
before I
escapism.
even graduated from college, I was working with the state, was licensed, sworn through that, then through a program through school, started working with the sheriff's office. Nothing super glamorous or cool. It was work the jails, you know, push the trays, get people throwing sandals and shit at you. Did civil process for a while, then did like some high impact patrol stuff. But like that was like right when my brother was like, he was getting into Army and he was like super excited about it. And like he was going to do EOD and, you know, like he had met his wife, and it was like making dog shit money, but like it was just a different time. You know what I mean? Like my sisters were happy and like my mom, my old man were happy, and it was good to feel like I was taking a break. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, going back kind of in time, and that's what it was. That's what it was for me. It was just like, you know, for a few hours, and sometimes longer than that because you get wrapped up into it. You know, like for a few hours, it was just it was just different. And I mean, it wasn't what you would even, I don't even think it's even content like in my mind, you know what I mean? I just go around and do the things that used to do, you know what I mean? Oh, car, double park, ticket that. You got somebody to process that, you know, call for service, answer the call, clear it, go to the next call. And I met my buddy Fincone. Like I said, I think he joined the server like a day before I did. And like when we got in there was 11 people that used to play on it, legit, like 11 people.
Just 11?
Like the whole thing? 11 people. There was nobody. So like if there was a time, like a day that was slow and there was like 3 people on the server and 2 of them are cops, like the one person that is trying to drive around is getting ticketed. You know what I mean? Like they're like every time they blow a red light, they're catching
You're just following them, waiting for them to mess up.
I mean,
just entrapment the whole time, just waiting for a crime.
I mean, it was.
Oh no, the bank vault's open.
It was just so different. You know what I mean? It wasn't like like it was never. You know, let's log in and see who we can jam up or whatever. Like it just felt so different, and it felt like the more realistic, like at least like for me, like that was the drug. You know what I mean? Because it was like for that moment. Like you can get into a time machine and go back to a time that wasn't the time that we were in. You know what I mean? And like that's how it was. And I didn't know about Twitch. And I remember Tim Mack was telling me about Twitch and like what it was, and I couldn't understand like what he was talking about. And I knew about YouTube, and I was like, oh, is it like YouTube? And he's like, well, it's like a live YouTube. But yeah, it's the same. And I was like, oh, live YouTube. Okay, no big deal. You know, like I had no idea what it was. I didn't know that it was something that you could do. It wasn't something that was like an ambition for me. Like, you know, I'm going to interact with these people and then that'll be, you know, my life after that. But like met a bunch of really great people that helped me a bunch. I mean, like I give credit to my buddy Fincone whenever anybody asks, because like he was the one that like helped me set up my YouTube channel and like taught me like how to do editing and everything. And like a bunch of people that were like on the server and you know, people who weren't, but they were trying to do Twitch or they were trying to do YouTube or whatever. They're like, nobody wants to see that content. Like nobody cares. The editing's trash. And I was just like, you know, appreciate the feedback, buddy. But like, he's the one who actually helped me out and like got me going like with all that stuff. And like, the more that I did it and I was able to like wrap my mind around that, you know what I mean? About around something different.
Yeah.
The more I wanted to do it, if that makes sense.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was how it started. And I wish that it was like, I wish that it was something else that had gotten me there, you know, or like, but at the same time, like, I think that at least like when people message me or they send me emails about, you know, the things that they're going through and things like that, I think that when things are the darkest and you just feel completely alone by yourself, you know, like that the world is turning and you're one person in it, and like you're just kind of being bounced around and everything feels like it'll never be good again. You know, it's like those moments when everything can change. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what it felt like. Like it was a weird and really dark and sad time, but through that, I can honestly say I discovered something that I would have never ever discovered if that had not happened.